Welcome to another episode of Inside Access Control, sponsored by SIA. Pretty excited to have you join us today, Shiraz Kapadia. I'm the CEO of Invixium. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know it's crazy going on right now, so thanks for spending the time.
You're most welcome.
So why don't we start off? Some people familiar with the industry do know who you are and your company. You've been around for a while, but there's also a lot of people on the listening side that actually don't. So if you would, give us a little bit of background of yourself, your company, and maybe a little bit of the marketplace of where you all fit.
Yeah, no, thanks, Lee, for taking the time. My name is Shiraz Kapadia. I am the founder and CEO of Invixium. I've been in the biometric space for the past 20 years. So, we are in 2020. So, count back, so 2000 onwards. So it's been a long time. I was, part of a company called BioScript and then running BioScript. And then it was part of L1 Identity Solutions. I was still running it until the time it was acquired by Morpho. And in 2012, we started Invixium with a team of people from BioScript. So, a lot of experience. And our swim lane continues to be, physical access control and workforce management and building biometric products using, facial recognition, vascular recognition, fingerprint for the purposes of, access control, time tracking, workforce management. We have our product suite and our integrated software to do the configuration of the devices and providing, data analytics for enterprises and industries globally.
Very good. So, and last time we talked, you described certain markets, the sort of the unsexy side around biometrics and the areas where they work. Can you speak a little bit to that?
The fundamentals on which Invixium was formed. First and fundamental was, in the past, biometrics was associated more to security. So if it's a security product, then the impression was it's okay for it to be hard to install. It's okay for it to look like ugly, a box on a wall. And a lot has changed in the past 10, 15 years where everything around us, elegance, beautiful products was important, easy to use, easy to install, great user interfaces. And what I wanted to do when we started the company was to bring this consumerization to biometric, because you're going to slap on a product on a door in an office that you spend so much money on, and you want it to look good, not just a box on a wall that looked ugly. So we focused heavily on making sure our products look good. Number two, they're easy to install, they're easy to use, nice user interfaces, nice colors, and of course, the implicit things like making sure that the quality is good, etc. What I also had noticed in my prior years prior to starting Invixium was, there were a lot of players in the biometric space that were building biometric products, but they only would, work indoors. There would be a long list of disclaimers, or don't install it outside, don't have ambient light on it, and this temperature, that temperature, don't put it in construction zones. If your hands are dirty, it would not work. So we wanted to say that biometrics is actually needed most in places where it's rugged environments, whether it be mines, whether it be seaports, petrochemical industries, where there is large workforces that you actually want to secure from an access control perspective. I think the popularity of biometrics has been slow, primarily because it did not work everywhere. It has been important for Invixium to solve real life problems. I want you to come to me and say, well, I've got 5,000 people, but I'm not happy with the way we are tracking their time, and I'm using pen and paper. I want to solve the whole thing. I want to give you a product that is used to capture the data. I want you to give you a mechanism where either through Wi-Fi or cellular or through Ethernet, you can push all that data to the server or the database. Then I want to give you an integration to an HRMS system. So now you have the whole thing, data capture, regardless of the environment, it's getting communicated back to the server, and from there it's integrated to your SAP, Oracle, with whichever HRMS. And then you say, yeah, I've gone from pen and paper to now I have a fully automated system, call it IoT, call it AI, call it whatever you want. But that's the definition of a real life problem. And I think the fame of Invixium is that we have been able to create beautiful products that are easy to install, simple to use, but they also work anywhere. And we understand that there is nothing like a one size fits all. So I can't give you one product and I'm going to tell you, or one modality to even say that it's going to work everywhere. There's a lot of thing going on about COVID-19 and touchless biometrics and contactless biometrics because nobody wants to touch anything anymore. But we saw the trend going towards touchless biometrics, in 2017 onwards, and therefore we have this product called IXM Titan. We call it the most advanced biometric product ever engineered. So you can install it in rugged environments. You can do 4-factor authentication. So we have put, face and fingerprint or finger vein, and then you can use your card and your PIN. So high security, rugged, it's fast. You can do, 17 to 18 people per minute. It can do 1 to 100,000 in 1-to-N. So now there is a product, and along with our software, you can use it for access control in pretty much any environment that you can think of.
How do you see this all playing out? Because all of a sudden you've got the uptick in awareness, people needing a need. I feel like people are moving fast in some things. They haven't necessarily thought through what they're going to do with it. So like, I need this, I need this, I need this. And then they're going to figure out what it means, as they change the way that people interact with their buildings.
We are doing a lot of consultation, although, we're not a consulting firm, but we are trying to understand, like, what are you trying to solve? So yes, if there is a big office, there's 5,000 people, and they want to ready their space to when people are actually going to come to work. And employers will now have a responsibility to convince their employees that we have done step 1, 2, 3. So you've got a hand sanitizer bottle, 6 feet distance or 2-meter distance between two people. But we have also put in entry technologies. I call it worksite entrance technologies, whether it be for workforce management, where you're doing your check-in, check-out, or you're using it for access control. I think a touchless biometric product like face recognition, or even for high security applications like iris, even though it's not that user friendly, but for high security applications, iris is also touchless. So I do think that if you want absolute numbers, I don't have, but just tactical numbers, I think the adoption of facial recognition or touchless biometric technologies has probably shot up like within 5 weeks, like 10, 15 years.
A lot.
It's just ridiculous. People are going to invest their capital into things that deliver a lot of value, not feature wars, not feature sets that all of a sudden I've doubled my storage capacity. How do we make the entrance technology or the security appliance do something more? So we are, for example, coming out with elevated temperature detection, along with doing the facial recognition without asking the user to change anything. For example, our office, our airports, everything is now secure. It's not just about security anymore. You have to talk about safety. You have to talk about it's healthy, and we want to play our part in delivering products and solutions so that they can convince their workforce that this is what we have done, so that you can safely come to work now.
Yeah, I think you're dead on with this idea that, it was going from safety. We started having the conversation of balancing convenience with safety. And now all of a sudden out of nowhere comes the health side of safety, along with, making sure that people don't do bad things to you physically. It's now also about the health side. So without a doubt.
I'm also afraid to a degree for the industry, because, you've been in the industry, or at least covering the industry for a long time. It has taken us a lot of time to convince, buyers and enterprises that, guys, like, it is important that you deploy biometrics, because it's the only technology to prove you are who you say you are. But, card and PIN and all that is just easy. So I just sincerely hope and wish that that in an effort to try this health problem, they just don't forego security, because that will backfire so bad.
No, I agree. I don't think it has to be binary. And I think actually the ones that will win will be the ones that are able to deliver both. And really, I think context, situational awareness, understanding policies. And that's, I kind of go back to the idea that everyone's trying to do it real quick, but I don't know if people thought about the now what. So what are the gotchas that of implementing it so that it works seamlessly with everything else you got going on? I agree with you. It's going to be important, because it can't flip the other way, where it's sort of like we catch everyone as a fever, but nobody with a gun would be a bad thing. So I agree with you. Question for you on that. So as you all are going and working and doing right now, is there anything that you need or you're looking for from the marketplace?
what I request of the dealer integrator community is that, pick up the phone, talk to the manufacturers, that what value are you going to deliver other than, just having a biometric reader for access control, time and attendance. And, we as manufacturers want to know, like Invixium, for example, we are hard at work. We are going to come out with solutions that are going to be directly a value add to the aftermath of COVID-19. It's our responsibility to come out with solutions. If we want to survive, if we want to be calling ourselves the innovator, that, we are here to stay, and we'll have to change the way we think. I don't want to fight the feature wars. I don't want to talk about I integrated this and I integrated that. No, I want to solve a problem.
I like it. We'll leave it at that. So if people want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so Invixium.com is our website. There's names of people, like all cell phone numbers of people are there. Like me personally, it's skapadia@invixium.com. My cell phone number is +1 647 282 1745. Day and night, the phone doesn't turn off. I'm ready. Problem.
Good man. Well, thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. Good words of advice, and I agree with you. Get out there and get going.